I got such a long, long, long way to go.
Hey guys, welcome to my video. And as I'm kind of back in YouTube trying to make war robot contents, I was really hesitant on what kind of build I should really make. But I mean, obviously people like things that are a little bit extreme. I don't know, something that's interesting. But so as I started to play the Butch, because I mean, I guess I just went with what I kind of liked, and the Butch, the cowboy robots, the American robots were just always my, I don't know, go-to bots, because I always liked playing those bots. And at the time when I kind of started to get serious about the game, those bots were really rare at the time, so I guess that kind of stuck with me. And so yeah, I was playing the Butch, and as I was shooting enemies, as you can see even now, like every couple seconds, even with like my best weapons, enemies will just have shield pop up every couple seconds. So it was really annoying, and maybe to counter that, I could run the shield breaker, or just run something really high in burst. So obviously really high burst weapon being puncher, and having, I mean, to have more burst, which means like do a lot of damage in a short amount of time. I don't know if that's the definition of burst, but that's what I mean in this video. But yeah, so to raise the burst on the weapon, obviously if you have more of them, it'll just crank up the output. And what can have most heavy weapons? It's the Behemoth. Other than that, it's the Butch, but the Butch can't use all four at the same time. So I went with the Behemoth. As you can see, it's just like as the Hawk goes up to use its ability, I just killed it way before. And this setup really works on against Titans as well, because obviously since they buffed this robot, it got really tanky. I don't know if they buffed it again, and I definitely felt it was more tanky. And a lot of the Titans have cannibal reactor, which only works against other Titans. Few people, I mean, some people will mix antimatter reactor with the cannibal, but yeah, but not many has all antimatter reactor, because obviously with their Titan, and I just breezed through those two robots, which was pretty exciting, I'd say. So as you can see, the shield, and I have the nuclear amplifier all charged up, so I think that's 80% extra damage. So this is ridiculous. And on top of that, I have the Persephone drone, and you can put one attack chip in. And this being Pixonic's account, I have the gold chip on there. And yeah, so it looks like our team is doing really well, capping some major beacons. And I kind of thought maybe it was about time to just walk into the center, and I think I do it at some point. And from here, I think it looks as though I could still get some damage. get some angles on that Nodens. But I thought I was doing most of the damage, but so I kind of thought other guys were stealing my kill. But that's that. And yeah, this game wasn't that long because it's only 5 whatever the seconds left in the game. And yeah, some games you have like all 5 beacons capped, and or 4 beacons capped, and some guys on the other team will end up giving up, making the battle like 6 versus 5, and stuff like that happens. So yeah, that was end of this game. But this game, I guess because our team was doing so well, that I was able to showcase that build pretty well. And this video is pretty long, and every match I start off with this thing, the Revenant. Obviously I like to start off with like at least 1 beacon capped, or at least me fighting for the 1 beacon, so that my teammates can kind of do some damage around the beacon, so we can actually capture a beacon. So trying to play safe here, have the toxic flames on this robot, and this robot is definitely meta and it's so tanky. And just from this robot you get a lot of damage because you're healing as well. On top of that, I have the Nebula drone on this, and I think it's safe to say the Nebula drone is the meta. It'll work with most bots, and I've tried using the beak and the paralysis. They're all good, but I mean the survivability I think is pretty important, especially in this meta, because a lot of things are pretty tanky and sneaky. By sneaky I meant to point out the Orochi having like 3 stealth now with the legendary pilot, and the legendary pilot was in like one of the task things. So not the task, but you pay like the premium task thing. So I assume a lot of people will have that. And so yeah, I'm running the Behemoth, and I have to kind of follow this guy because this guy will have his absorber shield out. And so at this point I'm like, okay, so the enemy team is playing exceptionally well, and turns out they were a squad. So saw a couple of I saw a friend of mine on the other team, I guess. And yeah, and this, I think if you're trying to build this build, this is something that you kind of have to keep in mind. If they're like this close, you can't really hit them. I don't know if this is the case with the normal Behemoth, but it was the case with this one, so I kind of had to kind of improvise and just trying to get some angle, like shoot them a little bit not straightforward, so that I'm actually shooting like at the ground or shooting at myself or something. But yeah, so luckily some of my teammates helped out here. The leech helped out, so I was able to kill that. And sometimes that teleport effect kind of happens. So yeah, anyways, this thing is definitely the strongest thing in this meta. It's so hard to kill because it has 2 abilities and they kind of trade off each other. Like once you jump and you have that hang time, and as it comes down it does damage, and you can do damage with your weapons as well. On top of that, you have like reflector in the air, and when you come down you can use that other ability, which is another reflector. So that was kind of that was really surprising as I got back into the game, because I was always trying to figure out like a way to kill that thing. And even with like, and because it jumps, it has mobility as well, so it's like it does damage, it's tanky, right? And it has mobility, and yeah, and you can, with the Mantis, it heals itself. On top of that, they're making like a special version of this so that it's more tankier. So this is by far like the best thing I guess, in this meta, and by that I mean most toughest thing to take down. So when I was playing solo, like whenever the other team pulled out like at least 3 of these, and our team doesn't have any of the new Titan, then we would like, it would be like 4 cap and straight up loss. So maybe I don't know about the balance of this thing. Obviously there isn't a balance of anything, like nothing is really, no metas are like really super balanced. Obviously they have to sell something, so they make something really powerful, but I don't know, just want to point out that this thing is like super heavy hitter and tanky as well. So just trying to figure out when to pull out the Behemoth and where to put out. And it looks like the C is great because you can go on top of the baseball mount and shoot down the other enemy, get angles. And unfortunately I wasn't able to just kind of sit on the beacon because it just happened so quick. And worst part is I'm facing this this new Titan here, so luckily this guy didn't have, I think, the Grom, but still it's doing crazy amount of damage, and I'm just kind of hanging in there with my last game. So trying to just use that whole clip, as that guy was not in reflector mode, but unfortunately I died before it. So dropping Fafnir. Okay, so hope because our beacon gauge is exceptionally low, so but the game is basically over. And I didn't even know that this was a squad, but and I was like, yeah, the other team is playing really well, and they turned out to be in a squad. So 10 mil. I think a lot of that was from the Luchador and the Behemoth as well, obviously. 2 main bots that were used. And starting this match in Shenzhen. Okay, starting off with the Revenant as usual. Obviously because of the beacon situation here. And a lot of people do run the Revenant from the start, and it sucks if you're a 4 cap and I have to drop like a Behemoth, which obviously is not known for its mobility. So yeah, so you're trying to use trying to see what's really going on here. Okay, so this guy was fighting for the beacon, this beacon D, so I just teleported here. And the home beacon we can kind of spawn at home, so that's why I made this choice. And yeah, one thing that was annoying was the sonic weapons on the Revenant. I think I should start running the sonic weapons on here because obviously high burst, and they seem to do pretty well against other Revenants. So yeah, trying to cap this beacon. I think I need this beacon because in order to use the Behemoth, as we've seen in the first game, there are 2 openings here, and from here you can shoot down the center and kind of protect our home beacon with the Behemoth. So yeah, so if you're ever in this map with the Behemoth, yeah, cap beacon D first. It's a little tip. I think, yeah, you can pull it out with beacon B, but you get less angles that way, and people are more concentrated in beacon D. Alright, so a lot of Fafnirs. Okay, so that means Behemoth time with the puncher, because like every 2 seconds, you guys will be able to see that here, the shield will pop up, and shield will pop up here. As soon as I do certain amount of damage, they had shield popping up, or their HP was going up or doing something. But one thing that I wanted to do with this is just with the high burst hit them before their shield show up or whatever, or healing thing. Anyways, and the Fafnirs and stuff like that are always moving around. So I was surprised to go against this Minos and take this guy out. I think I definitely had this, but apparently this wasn't my kill, so I wasn't able to put this in like the highlight. So trying to shoot whatever I can, and it's only like the reload is only 5 seconds on the puncher, and I definitely don't want to be shooting at that shield with especially this weapon, and especially with 4 of them. And luckily my teammates did something to that guy. And let me just sit on this beacon, and tier popped up, and 4 puncher popped up. So this guy had last stand level 1, I believe, and I was able to shred this guy down. So I think the puncher is basically Shredder, heavy version of Shredder, I guess. So I guess if you have this on the Hawk, I assume people will be using Shredder on as their light weapon. Okay, I shouldn't have been using the heal during my last stand. Obviously I did, and I'm definitely rusty, but I was really surprised that I was taking this guy down. Like, I almost killed this guy. I think I kind of meant to spawn in to like another Behemoth, but I don't know, just to look kind of cool and send the message that you've been killed by Behemoth. But I pressed the wrong button, so I chose Luchador. So when I first got back in War Robots and played, the Luchador definitely looked like the Lancelot, like the chubby, the bigger version of Lancelot. And I didn't know that this was a Titan, so I thought it was like a jumping Titan, because I think the first time I saw this was in Springfield, and everyone was far away. I was capping the farm beacon, and yeah, I thought it was Lancelot with like a new skin or something. Turns out it was like the new Titan, and it wiped out my whole hangar, which kind of sucked, but I guess that's a welcome back message. And using 2 cinders on here, I think they have like 135 or 150 something distance, and I was really confused at this weapon. But I think I was on comm with one of the Zen guys, and they explained to me that it was just kind of like it was kind of like Kid's ability, so that kind of really made sense. I purposely didn't kill this guy because I wanted that guy to kind of heal up so I could get more damage. So yeah, just kind of being honest. But it turns out like our team was almost making, so I was like, oh, okay, I have to kill this guy and jump in the center or something. So I came around. Yeah, this Mender came around, and I didn't let him live. Just jumped in the center, and that is so satisfying because it jumps so far. I think the jump is so satisfying. It's just it's as satisfying as Invader's jump. If you pull Invader's jump, if you pull it off, it's usually pretty satisfying. And I think the first jump like this, like a long, low jump, I think that was first kind of shown with the introduction of Invader. So yeah, the Luchador is dominant, and obviously because of that, it's so fun to use. And here I go with the Behemoth. Okay, I should have used heal here, but I definitely wasted the last stand. I should have used the heal way before. But sometimes I'm using a new phone, and sometimes it's difficult to, I don't know, and pretty rusty. So yeah, but still I was able to kill the Wayland. So definitely effective against like other Titans as well. And probably, yeah, definitely not in like clan battles, but I mean a lot of us don't play clan battles, and clan battles aren't as popular anymore because obviously they definitely do cost a lot to set up your hangar. Okay, so 9 million, 6 beacon, 11 kills. Okay, a lot of honor points. So 4,000. That was more honor points than when I got 10 million in the previous match, I think. But I lost that match, so that kind of makes sense. So thank you guys for watching this video, and it was a long video. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. See you guys on the next video.
Da 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 da.